Okay, now there's two things I'm going to do today. I'm going to do for adiabatic processes, number one, the relationship between P and V. That's number one. And I'm also going to do the relationship between P and T. And then I'm going to leave the other relationships for you guys to do for homework. Okay, so we are doing this for ideal gases. Yes? What do we know about ideal gases? What do we know about ideal gases? PV equals nRT. May I do this? Am I allowed to do this mathematically? Yes? What will be the answer to this? Will it be VdP plus PdV equals nRdt? Do we know how that happened? Is n a constant? Is r a constant? If you do a d over d of n, what will you get? 0. If you do a d over an r, what will you get? 0. So the only term that survives is dr dt. If you guys have a question about this, ask me now.
You said dr dt, but dr dt doesn't.
Right, that one doesn't go to 0 because there is a change in time. So yeah, so if I do this, okay. Here's I'm gonna do this for you. So dnRT, yes? Mm-hmm. If I solve this, will it be dnRT plus ndRT plus nRdt? Yes? What's the differential of a constant? So will this term go to 0? Will this term also go to 0? So what's the only term that will survive from this? Yes? Okay, good. So now, may I rewrite this equation as VdP equals negative PdV plus nRdt. Is this dW? And was dW equal to nCV dt? From here. Equation 4. Do you want me to do another step in the middle? Okay, I'm going to do another step in the middle. May I rewrite this as dW plus nRdt? Yes? Is this from equation 4 equal to VdP equal nCV dt plus nRdt? So far, so good? Okay. May I rewrite this as nCV plus R dt? Yes? What was CV plus R? I'm going to forget where we did that. Right there. Yeah? Is it CP? May I rewrite this as that? So VDP. I want you to box this. I'm going to call this equation 5. Now, am I allowed to divide two equations in math? Okay, so if I take equation 5, VDP equals NCP dt, equation 5, and I also take my equation 2. Can I take my equation 2? Can I divide equation 5 by equation 2? Was my equation 2 that? Yes? Yeah. Okay, so what will I get? N's will go away. What was CP over CV from last time? Can someone tell me? We defined it as something. Did we call it adiabatic ratio or exponent or something like that? What did we call it?
Specific heat ratio.
Specific heat ratio. And what was the term for it?
CP over CV.
Gamma. Oh yeah, CP over CV. That's what I have, right? I wrote wrong. CP over CV. That's gamma, right? And do the DTs go away? What am I left with? VDP over negative PDV equals gamma. Okay, may I also write these equations as, I'm allowed to do that, right? I'm allowed to do that? Keep the P's on one side and keep the U's on one side. So I just move them around. So if I integrate this from some P1 to some P2 and some V1 to some V2, am I allowed to do that? What will I get? Log of P from P1 to P2 minus log of V from V1 to V2? Yes. Oh, gamma is still there. Sorry, I forgot. Gamma is still there. Nothing happens to gamma. Good point. Okay, may I then rewrite this as magically P2 over P1 log minus gamma log of V2 over V1. Okay. Do you remember the properties of log that said A log of B equal log of B to the power A? So may I rewrite this as log of P2 over P1 equal log of V2 over V1 to the power minus gamma? Yes? Okay. How do I get rid of logs on both sides? And there's a minus gamma. So that means V1 and V2 need to be switched to get me gamma. That much math, right? Anyone still confused about the math? Anyone not remember properties of logs? Okay, so I'm going to write it. It'll make more sense. So there's log on this. So this is not kosher what I'm doing right now. I am going to cancel the two logs. We know we can't cancel the two logs, right? We take the exponent of the logs and then the E cancels the log, okay? But for right now, understanding that this is not quite kosher, may I just get rid of these two logs? right? Because it has to be e to the power, right? And then the e and the logs cancel. That's the real way to do it, but I'm too lazy. Okay, so then may I rewrite this as P2 over P1 equal, watch carefully, V1 over V2 to the power gamma. And you would probably have seen this written like P2 V2 gamma equals P1 V1 gamma equals a constant, or I can generalize it to say, drum roll, done.
How do you get gamma on those?
How do I get gamma on votes? I don't. This is basically P2 V2 gamma equals P1 V1 gamma. I just opened it. So that gamma gets distributed over V1 and V2. Right? Hold on. Okay, one more step. So what I did was P2 over P1 equals V1 gamma over V2 gamma. Right? And then I cross multiply. It gets distributed over the both. Right?